Ever wonder why some relationships, once full of love and warmth, turn cold and hostile? It's like a garden that, without proper care and attention, becomes overrun with weeds. These weeds in our relationships are the hidden toxins that can turn a once healthy partnership into a source of pain and distress. Just as with a garden, it's important to spot these toxins early on, before they have a chance to take root and spread. In relationships, these toxins often manifest as constant conflict, a breakdown in communication, and emotional neglect. They're not always easy to spot, and that's what makes them so dangerous. Let's take a closer look. Constant conflict is a clear sign of toxicity. It's normal for couples to have disagreements, but when every conversation turns into an argument, there's a problem. This constant battle can drain the warmth from a relationship and replace it with a cold, hostile environment. Lack of communication is another hidden toxin. When couples stop sharing their thoughts, feelings, and concerns with each other, it creates a wall of silence that's hard to break down. This silence can breed resentment and misunderstanding, leading to even more conflict. Emotional neglect, though less obvious, is a potent toxin. This occurs when one or both partners feel unloved, unappreciated, or ignored. Emotional neglect can lead to feelings of loneliness and isolation, even when you're in the same room as your partner. These hidden toxins can be difficult to recognize, especially when you're in the thick of it. But recognizing them is crucial. It's the first step towards detoxifying your relationship and creating a healthier, happier partnership. So keep an eye out for these signs. If you spot them, don't ignore them. Address them head-on with honesty and openness. It won't be easy, but it's a necessary step towards rebuilding your relationship. Remember, every garden needs a bit of weeding from time to time. Recognizing these signs is the first step to detoxify your relationship. The journey may be tough, but the destination is worth it. A relationship that's healthy, happy, and full of love. Unresolved issues, they are like silent termites, slowly eating away the foundation of your relationship. Toxicity in a relationship isn't always obvious. It's not always big blowouts or heated arguments. Sometimes it's more subtle, more insidious, like a low-level hum you grow accustomed to. It's the constant criticism that chips away at your self-esteem. It's the lack of trust that keeps you on edge, always questioning, always doubting. It's the emotional neglect that leaves you feeling alone, even when you're together. Identifying these patterns of toxicity is crucial. Like a doctor diagnosing an illness, you cannot begin to treat the problem until you know what you're dealing with. Are you often left feeling drained after interactions with your partner? Do you feel like you're walking on eggshells, always trying to avoid conflict? Do you feel less like equals, and more like one of you holds the power? These are all signs of a toxic relationship. Once you've identified the issues, it's not enough to just know they exist. They need to be addressed. It's like finding out you have high blood pressure. Knowing is the first step, but if you don't take action, the condition only worsens. Addressing these issues means having frank, open conversations about what's going wrong. It means being honest about your feelings and allowing your partner to do the same. It means listening, really listening, to what they have to say, even if it's difficult to hear. And it means accepting that you might not always be right, that you might need to change certain behaviors. This process can be painful and uncomfortable. It might bring up feelings of guilt, shame, or fear. But remember, the goal here isn't to assign blame or to win a fight. The goal is to rebuild the relationship into something healthier, something more fulfilling for both of you. Facing these issues head-on is the first step towards healing. It's where the hard work begins, but it's also where the hope begins. Because once you start addressing the issues, you start moving towards a better, healthier relationship. Change starts from within, and so does the healing process in a toxic relationship. Self-reflection is a powerful tool, a compass guiding us out of the stormy seas of toxicity and towards the calm shores of a healthier relationship. It's a journey inward, a deep dive into the depths of our own thoughts, feelings, and actions. In the context of a toxic relationship, self-reflection involves asking ourselves tough questions. What role have we played in the current state of affairs? Have our actions or inactions contributed to the toxicity? Often we find that the answer is yes. We've all made mistakes, said things we didn't mean, or failed to say the things we should have. But here's the beautiful thing about self-reflection. It's not about blaming ourselves or wallowing in guilt. It's about understanding, learning, and growing. It's about recognizing our missteps, taking responsibility for them, and committing to change. Think of it as a mirror. It shows us, in no uncertain terms, our strengths and our weaknesses. It shows us where we've been, where we are, and where we want to go. And most importantly, it shows us that we have the power to change. So, how do we foster self-reflection in the context of a relationship? It starts with honesty. Honesty with ourselves and honesty with our partner. It means being open to feedback, willing to listen, and ready to make changes. Next, it's about empathy. Putting ourselves in our partner's shoes, feeling what they feel, understanding their perspective. This isn't always easy, but it's a crucial step towards healing and growth. Finally, it's about action. Self-reflection is not a passive process. It's active, dynamic, and ongoing. It's about consistently striving to be better, to do better, to love better. It's about turning the insights gained through self-reflection into tangible changes in our behavior and interactions. Change starts from within, and so does the healing process in a toxic relationship. This mutual willingness to grow is vital for rebuilding the foundation of the relationship. Trust, once broken, can be the hardest thing to rebuild, but it's not impossible. Trust is the cornerstone of any relationship, a solid foundation that holds everything together. When this trust is shattered, the relationship shakes and may even crumble. However, with deliberate actions and consistent efforts, it's possible to mend the cracks and rebuild the trust that was lost. Rebuilding trust requires a deep commitment to change. It's not about making empty promises, but about demonstrating through actions that you are trustworthy. It means being transparent, open, and honest at all times, even when it's uncomfortable. Honesty is the first step towards rebuilding trust. It means admitting your mistakes, owning up to your actions, and accepting responsibility. It's about having tough conversations and dealing with the uncomfortable truths. Honesty, in its rawest form, can be painful, but it's a necessary pain that paves the way to healing. Transparency, the next step, is about being open and clear in your actions and intentions. It's about removing ambiguity and being predictable in a positive way. It's about letting your partner in, showing them your true self, your vulnerabilities, your fears, and your hopes. Transparency creates a safe space where trust can start to grow again. Reliability is the final step. It's about proving that you are dependable and consistent. It's about following through on your promises, being there when your partner needs you, and proving that your words match your actions. Reliability is the proof that trust is justified. Rebuilding trust is not a one-time act, but a continuous process. It requires patience and time. It's about proving day by day, moment by moment, that you have changed and are committed to maintaining this change. It's about showing with your actions, not just your words, that you can be trusted again. Forgiveness is the last piece of the puzzle. It's about letting go of the past and focusing on the future. It's about acknowledging the pain, but not letting it define the relationship. Forgiveness is the ultimate act of love and trust. Trust is the bridge that, once broken, requires time, effort, and commitment to repair. And with this repair comes a stronger, more resilient relationship, built on a foundation of renewed trust and mutual respect. The road to a healthy relationship is long and winding, but every step taken is a step towards a better tomorrow. Our journey today has taken us through some of the most challenging aspects of relationships. We've delved into the hidden toxins that can corrode the strongest of bonds, and we've seen how they can seep in, often unnoticed, through breakdowns in communication and constant conflict. We've acknowledged the importance of identifying these issues, of shining a light into the dark corners of our relationships, and facing those patterns of toxicity head-on. Whether it's excessive criticism, lack of trust, or emotional neglect, it's crucial to confront these issues to start the healing process. We've talked about the power of self-reflection, about how vital it is to look within ourselves and recognize our contributions to the toxicity. It's not easy to take responsibility for our actions, but it is a necessary step. We've emphasized the need for change, for growth, for a mutual willingness to evolve, to become better, not just for our partners, but for ourselves. We've discussed the uphill task of rebuilding trust, A bridge that once broken requires time, effort, and commitment to repair. The keys to rebuilding trust are honesty, transparency, and reliability, consistently demonstrated. The road to a healthy relationship is not a straight path. It's a journey of self-discovery, of learning and unlearning, of growth and change, of patience and resilience. But it's a road worth taking, for at the end of it lies a relationship that's healthier, stronger, and more fulfilling. Remember, it's never too late to start the journey towards a healthier, happier relationship.